What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is August 20th, 2025. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, and the market's still open. Steven gave us a running start today. Today was a very, very good day. The stats for our community is exceptional, and this is what they look like. Great day in the community today. Also, before we get started, I want to say huge congratulations to one of our members. You know who you are. My man keeps repeating baby account challenges, which if you've never done one, I highly recommend it, because if you can grow a small account, and what I mean by a baby account is you start with a small amount of money and you trade it over time into something sizable, or that you would call a sizable account. It doesn't have to be six figures or anything, but you know, my baby account challenge was $37 to basically $4,000 in 40 trading days. So that was my baby account challenge. I posted that whole thing on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing if you want. But the point is, and the reason it's so important, is because it makes you wait for the proper setups, and it makes you have discipline and patience. And if you can trade a small amount of money into something that's worth a damn, you will have learned everything you need to know to be a successful day trader. Guaranteed. Okay? The problem is that what works while you're doing that stops working because you change what worked. Whether it was scaling up too fast, whether it was getting this false sense of security that because you have extra funds in the account that you should keep trading all day long, or whatever the case is. There's a plethora of reasons that we've covered infinitely amounts of times in my YouTube channel. But you need to be aware that what works when you have a little amount of money works when you have a lot of money. What stops working, you change it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this gentleman is absolutely crushing it, and he's doing it the right way. He started, I think, with $250, and you could see a screenshot. He just shared it with us today. Now he keeps in contact with me. He sends me DMs every week, letting me know of his progress. But the fact of the matter is that if you ask him, what did you do to do this? Now, he's done several of these, okay? He just grounds himself by coming back to a small account challenge. It makes you get discipline and patience. Otherwise, you blow up the account. He'll tell you everything you teach every day. That's it, guys. It works as long as you work it and know where to stop, know when to walk away, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, all the things. And that's exactly what we cover every single day in the book that you should look at getting, or in our Discord community that you should consider joining. First week's completely free. No credit card information or anything. Just show up. Your week starts. This way you don't have to worry about canceling anything if you decide you don't like it. Just show up. Give me a chance. Give the community a chance. Give yourself a chance. We do things differently in here, okay? We're not a call-out service, although we do find and point out good potential trades. But it's up to you to push the buttons, guys. And that's what education's all about, because you don't learn anything by copying somebody else. And if you've tried doing that before, you've come to find that copying somebody else typically doesn't work either. But nonetheless, I digress. Buy the book, join the Discord. Let's go ahead and get into this beautiful chart today. When I say beautiful, again, beautiful for day traders. Doesn't feel so nice, although we're recovering relatively okay right now for your long-term portfolios. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what we were looking to do. Well, in the morning, the market was pretty red. And oddly enough, somebody had asked me all the way back here, somewhere between 9 and 9:10 in the morning, you know, Jimmy, if you had to guess, what do you think the first candle today is going to be? I said, I think the first candle today is going to be red. Now, that's not because of a put bias. It's just that the rest of the market was red. And quite frankly, I think the market is trying to reel itself back in from pricing in rate cuts that it was expecting September. And there's a chance we might not get those rate cuts. And I think the market is now trying to undo what it priced in for that reason. I could be completely wrong, but that's neither here nor there. We know what we're looking for and why, and that's the important part. Number one, I wasn't expecting to jump into puts right at the open, and we didn't have to. We had a put line at 567.41, and we had a call line at 568.57. That's over $1 between those two lines. I did that intentionally. I did it because we kind of flattened out right here leading into the open, and, well, I didn't feel real good about the sideways action that we were printing leading into the open. So when that happens, I try and remove the level of aggressiveness by spreading our call put scenarios apart a little bit. And I'm glad that I did, because we never got close. We didn't even touch the call line. And leading into the open, we actually moved all the way up here, which gave us plenty of time. And I said it out loud. I said, listen, if we do start to move down from here, at least we've got time to change over to puts if necessary. Now, you had two issues going on here. Number one, you had resistance, that is the call line on Qs. You had the resistance that is, well, resistance here from pre-market on SPY. So we weren't looking to really be super aggressive on calls. But the problem was ADD did open green, but immediately started to put a wick on top. And the Qs started to drop. Now, this didn't instantly go down. This hung out up here for a little while. And I said to people, I said, man, I don't like this for calls. We're not even close to the call line. But with ADD showing some weakness, I'm switching over to puts. Now, somebody asked me, Jimmy, are you going to wait for a close or a breach? And I said, honestly, if we can get through this pre-market low line right here, I'd be interested in getting in near that time. The reason is because at that same time, SPY would be breaking a support level of its own. Qs would be breaking a pretty good support level of its own. And if anything, we make it down to our put line. If it holds, I'm still able to get out with a break-even trade if it bounces the other way. Or you could wait for the breach. Whatever the case is, the original plan was we get in because we crossed this line. We hope to make it down to the next line. It's only a 40-cent move, 30-cent move, not a huge move, but that's all we're looking for in these trades, in these morning positions. Now, for many people, that's not enough of a profit for you to be done at that point. I get that. I am well aware of that. For me, that's enough money to be profitable enough to not need to trade anymore. That's the goal. I hope that we can get everybody to a level where they're comfortably trading a position size that allows you to take advantage of a 30+ cent move and be able to pay your bills. Okay? It takes time, it takes consistency, and it certainly takes confidence. And once you have those things, then you don't need to spend all day in front of a chart. Okay? I had people today telling me, Jimmy, when would you consider calls at the bottom of this crazy down run? And I said to him, well, how much are you up today? He says, $1,000. I'm like, well, is that not good enough? I mean, you're up $1,000 and we're not even 30 minutes into a workday. Guys, walk the fuck away sometimes. Greed will cost you a lot more money if you let it. Okay? With that said, we took puts semi-aggressively if you were waiting for a break of any structure in this case, or you waited for the breach of the line. Either way, we needed to stay below lines of support on both charts. Now, in this case, we got down through the put line. We got down to the next support. I held on to the trade because SPY looked pretty good. Qs had some stank on it, but ADD started to make us a little uncomfortable. Because ADD was starting to aggressively move up, I had put my alert on this on the pink line. I told everybody Qs and SPY are coming down to the pink line. If we get there, I'm taking myself out of the trade. Boy, was that later to become a very big mistake. But we can't see the future, so we do what we do. We had the alert right here. You could see it. I had it set on the pink line. As soon as that beep went, I got myself out of the trade. That ended up being a 50. Hold on. I'm sorry. That ended up being a 52.68% return. So we got in, I got in somewhere in the bottom half of this candle, and then we held it down to where both charts were on support at the same time, and ADD was printing green. I didn't want to overstay my welcome. Sometimes I wish I could force myself to do so, but I was very happy with my returns. That was a nice winning trade for me. We pull back, we put in a lower high. Now, what's good about lower highs? Calls are not good for lower highs. Puts are. And were we getting into puts up here? No, although we were at a resistance here on SPY, very obvious. And then it's not primed for puts until ADD starts printing red. Okay, so you're waiting. If you didn't take this, some people were still holding the original puts. Good for them, which is why all these white circles are here on the way down. But we put in another lower high and ADD was printing red. So here is an entry opportunity. You're expecting support here to fail, continue down to the next support. So on and so forth. Lower highs with ADD printing red is a good setup. Okay, if it's not printing red like this, it could still work, but you don't have all of the confluence that we like to find in your direction. Okay, so you have to make a choice. Think of each bit of confluence as being, I don't know, a 25% chance of winning. Right? So if it's just the Qs, got a 25% chance to win. If Qs and ADD are moving down, you got a 50% chance to win. And then timing is important, right? You got to get pullbacks or whatever it is you're going to do. We're not going to get into that right now. Nonetheless, as we move down, we were getting towards 945, hitting supports on both charts at the same time. Always worth considering as an exit, especially if ADD is printing big green candles, and it was at this time. It continued down. We moved below support, okay, on both charts. We were pulling back to resistance. And I said to everybody, I said, guys, ADD is back to print red. This is a great opportunity to buy a pullback. Hopefully we can continue down. First target here is going to be the next line down. If we close below that, we hope to go down to the next line down. All of that happened. We kept falling and it kept paying. This was a mammoth drop for people today. And these are just exits along the way. As we moved forward, we weren't looking for calls here, although people were asking me, Jimmy, when did you start considering calls? I said, I wouldn't be looking at calls until we got all the way up here. At this point, I want to see resistances get taken out, and several of them. With that said, we got two resistance on both charts here. ADD was still trending down. We got a lower high on SPY, but Jimmy trade setup. We had a little upward trend line here. You're hoping for a break of support, which, depending on what you're looking at, could have been this line, could have been this little guy up here. Whatever the case was, ADD was already moving down. We come off a lower high. We were rejecting on both charts, and we're trying to move down to the same support that we got to. It got there, and then it continued down for a little bit more after that. Shortly thereafter, we started to rotate up. We broke the downtrend line. We put in several higher lows on the way up, and again, another Jimmy trade setup, just a little delayed because the market was pretty unhappy this morning. So I wasn't in a hurry to get into calls aggressively. But if you wait, I said to everybody, hey, if we can get above this resistance right here, okay, this resistance right here, and ADD is printing green, then there could be a good opportunity to make good money because we're going from resistance A to resistance B. If we get through B, we're hoping to make it all the way up to this line up here. Okay, well, here's where we broke that resistance with ADD printing green. We made it straight up to where we wanted to go, turned that resistance into support, continued right on up. We didn't make it to the actual line that we were hoping to get to, but that's all right. You stop out of the trade when you break a support level. By this point, you're up so much, it doesn't matter. You give up a little bit of green, hoping for a little bit more. If it doesn't work, just take it. We put in a lower high here, which means you should have gotten out a little earlier than this. But if you're looking for structure to fail before you get out, this was the support that you were waiting for. It's right here, it's here, whatever one you want. The beauty of stopping out there is it also indicates a potential entry for puts. Okay, so again, the Jimmy trade setup, you have your Trend line up. You broke the trend line. You need to get through support with that and ADD printing red. You're hoping to make it down to the next support. Again, not a big one. Tried to hold some people in this trade a little bit longer. We were hoping to get all the way down to this alert. You could still see it sitting there and never got touched. And instead, we pulled back at a lower high, made it a little bit lower. This is your new resistance. This is your new stop loss. This is where you would have stopped out if you entered here. That was the last trade of the day because it was 12 o'clock and I get off the mic at 12 o'clock. Now, since then, we've gone a lot of sideways and a lot of grinding up, and we're back into our pre-market range, at least on SPY we are. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry I didn't make a video yesterday. I had the thumbnail and everything made. It's just I had to go run some errands, and by the time I got back, it was too late after soccer practice, and well, I just didn't make the video. So I did it today instead. With that said, I hope you all had a fantastic day today. It's nice to get nice, clean charts that are respecting the rules that we try and trade around. It was a very, very good day for the community. I hope if you're a day trader, it was a very good day for you as well. Lots of opportunity, mostly in the downside in the morning, and several opportunities to the upside a little bit later in the day. If you're interested on how to spot those opportunities, well, come join us. This is basically what we cover all day long, not all day, up till 12 o'clock every day. This is my job. This is what this community is all about. You're surrounded by like-minded traders, all day trading. Some are using futures, some are trading Qs, some are trading SPY, some are trading SPX. Nonetheless, understanding price action and market structure is all you need to trade whatever you want. It works. It works swimmingly well if you do it right. Keep the emotions out of it, which is extremely difficult. I would argue impossible, but you got to keep them at bay and let the market do work for you. All right. If you got any useful information in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, well, I would love to have you. The door is always open. We have a good time in there every day. And if you're interested in reading about how to do what we do, you can find all of that information right here in this book. This one, right here. It's a good one. You should check it out. And with that said, hope you all had a fantastic day. Till tomorrow. I love you guys. See you.